So for about 5 seconds, I almost lost my composure on this one. Mostly because when I read that Aquaman 2 was going to get pushed into December, I thought we were going to get it pushed into December of 2022. I know a lot of people have so many opinions about what David Zaslav is doing. Personally, for me, my thoughts on it, I don't think he's doing that bad of a job right now. I know a lot of people are bummed that he's canceling things left and right, but as somebody that took business in school, I understand where he's coming from. There are things we gotta understand is that this isn't a fan club, and we're not all going to get what we want, and he's just trying to make the best out of this company that he possibly can, and so far, I think he's been doing a good job. If he feels like he needs to cancel some things, then, let's see what he does with this. We got a release date for The Nun 2. I'm going to start off with that one first. Mostly because I was not a big fan of the first one. I thought it was, to a degree, I thought it was okay. I don't think it was the worst thing ever. I don't think it's as bad as Annabelle. But I really enjoyed the setup. Everything after the first 5-10 minutes, I think it all went downhill to a degree. But we have Michael Chavez, director of films such as The Curse of La Llorona and The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I have no faith in this film. But seeing how it didn't get the Batgirl treatment, I don't know how to feel about Michael Chavez returning to the Conjuring universe, because even though The Curse of La Llorona had the Conjuring universe title to it, really there was nothing that was really attached to the universe. They just attached it for marketing purposes, and that movie was awful. I was really let down. It was not the stories my mom told me when I was young. And that movie disappointed me. But we have that going for us. The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Even though it was a little bit better than The Curse of La Llorona, I don't think it's awful. It was just not good. It was decent at best, but it was a step up in the right direction. And a lot of people probably didn't like it, but to a degree, I liked it. I thought there were some cool things about it, some things that didn't work, some things that did work. But seeing how he's going to be coming into The Nun 2, and seeing how it didn't get the Batgirl treatment, because I honestly would have rather preferred a Crooked Man film. But if they came in with a great pitch, then I will be all in for it. Right now, I have no interest in this film, mostly because I didn't like the first one, and he's hit and miss. I will say that. Michael Chavez is hit and miss. He missed with The Curse of La Llorona, but I think he kind of hit with The Conjuring 3. And the only reason why I'm saying kind of is mostly because I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to hate it. Every film that is outside of the Conjuring films that is not directed by James Wan or David F. Sandberg have not been great. They have been either awful or they've been eh. But right now I have no faith in The Nun 2. But that's just me. Hopefully they will be able to turn that around. So going into the next one, we have Shazam 2. The reason why I want to start off with this one is because this one is the newest one. We already have a trailer for Shazam Fury of the Gods, so we already know what we're getting ourselves into. It got moved out of December so that it would not compete with Avatar 2. Great choice right there. I think it was the smart decision of not only placing Shazam outside of that Christmas window, but also putting it in March, because really the only thing that we have coming in March is Dungeons and Dragons before it, and right after it we have Scream 6 and we have John Wick Chapter 4. So I think it is in a better position. Everybody would agree to that. But I think it is going to succeed in that spot, and I think it's going to make a little bit more than what it did with the first one. I'm not too sure about that, but the trailer was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. If you want to see my reaction to it, I will post it up here or in the description below. But I'm really intrigued to see what David F. Sandberg does with Shazam 2, and it is in a better position now. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but we'll wait and see what happens when that film comes out. Now going into Aquaman 2. The reason why I wanted to do this one last was mostly because this one is going to be a bit of a head scratcher. It got moved from March 17th, so Shazam is going to be taking that spot, and it got moved to Christmas of 2023. The reason why that's interesting is because around that time, 10 days before this film comes out, we will be having Wonka, which I don't think is going to do that big of a business, but you might be surprised about how well that film does. We got Timothée Chalamet as Wonka, young Wonka, and I think that one is going to do fairly well, but not too well. And then a couple days before, so in that week, in that limited week, there's an Untitled Star Trek film coming out. Now, I feel like if they do stay with that Christmas type, because right now that Star Trek film is supposed to come out December 22nd, and then a few days later we have Aquaman 2. So I think they might bump it up a little bit, or they might delay it even longer, because I'm not sure if they're going to move it, but I don't know about this move. This is where I'm getting concerned a little bit. Mostly because we saw what happened with Aquaman in 2018. So this film is going to be coming out roughly around 5 years exactly after the last film. That film opened up to about 63 million and grossed $1 billion. The first DCEU film to gross $1 billion, and nobody saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. I'm pretty sure nobody saw that coming. It was a hit around this time. So I think, judging by the numbers that we had in that first film, I think this move is a better move for it than it would have had in March. I don't know if it's going to reach that $1 billion status again, but that film came out under different circumstances. We had Bumblebee, we had Mary Floppings, we had Mortal Engines. That one bombed too. So there was a lot of things going on around that time. This move for Aquaman is a bit of a head scratcher, because if Star Trek does come out on December 22nd, and that one, see, the Star Trek films never do big businesses, but it's going for that same demographic. So I don't know if it's going to be bumped up, what they did with Mission Impossible Rogue Nation back in 2015, where that film was supposed to come out in December, but they didn't want to compete with Star Wars The Force Awakens, and they bumped it up to July. I'm not sure what's coming out next July, August, September, but if they are still planning on doing that Star Trek film, and they still are planning to release it next year, then I see them bumping it up maybe till the beginning of the beginning of December, or they might bump it up into the summertime, which I think would be a better choice, but I don't know what's going to happen with Aquaman, so that's going to be very interesting to see. Like I said, at first, I was worried about this move, but you know what? I believe in David Zaslav. I know a lot of people will probably just, really not like the decisions that he's making right now. But if he's going to be pushing it into December, Mostly they pushed it because of post production, which is going to probably be delaying a couple of other films too. But right now, as far as I can see, I don't know what they're going what Aquaman's chances are. So right now, I'm predicting that they're going to stay on that December release date. If they're able to push the, I was going to say into June, but then I forgot that a Flash movie that doesn't exist comes out in June. So I think for the better choice, which also makes it very interesting because um, they're not pushing the Flash. Like the Flash was supposed to come out before Aquaman. It was supposed to come out before Shazam. Now I don't know what they're going to be doing with the Flash. Will they still stick with that June date? Maybe, but I think everything is just in shambles, and I think there won't be a lot of. I don't think the Flash is going to reset the DCEU. I think they're going to be keeping it the way that they are right now, and then they're going to be, you know, doing what David Zaslav wants with his 10-year plan that he announced. So that's going to be comforting, but I think that Star Trek is going to move up into a later date. They might bump up Wonka into the beginning of December. That way they can get that extra little push that they probably need for this film. But those are my thoughts on this delay. What are your thoughts on the delay for Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2? What are your thoughts on The Nun 2? Did you like that first Nun film? Did you not like it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about what you thought about this push, and I will see you guys next time.